Jo here over at woollycottage.com. It is part 2 for the Patreon Storyteller Art Bats. This month's theme, obviously, you know, is colours I can't stand. So we did the dye pot a couple of weeks ago, so we're on to this colour next, which is the oranges that were mentioned that you can't be bothered with, and reds. But this is done with purples in there as well, into like this cranberry colour, and then it goes into a lovely frame red. And I thought I would do 2 versions again this week using the same roving, so you can see that it can create a different characteristics. And one style might be like, no, can't do it, but another type, a different type of blend with it, with different colours, might encourage you to sort of see it from a different perspective. So we're working with today some mulberry silk blend with tweedy viscose. I have got a multicoloured merino. I have got a bamboo mixed blend with different colours in there, just to bring it a pop of colour. Instead of going for a bright red, I've gone for a more maroony merlot sort of red colour, a wine. I'm going to add in a splash of red in there just for a pop, just to wind you all up. Then we've got this electric purple, and we have got a bit of darker purple, and then we've got the roving with the purples. It goes orange, different shades where it's split in the dye pot, which I quite like, and then it goes into more orangey red, dash of red, then more into this maroony colour, into a more split purple colour, and then transitions through to a little bit darker. So we're working with that today. And we've got another piece put to one side, but I will do a different version style of that. So I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to hit that like at the end of the video, even though it's on an unlisted link for you guys. It really does genuinely help. And if you, when you go to watch the video, like I do with all my channels, when I watch other people, as I click the link first, I click the little thumbs up first, because I know I'm going to enjoy whatever it is that I'm watching of theirs anyway, if it's somebody I watch regularly. And then I don't forget, because it's so easy to forget, because before you know it's ended and it's flipped onto the next video. So I'm just splitting this roving into 2 today. Right, put that in that pot there, and then grab that one and put that in there. I've got my dark purple, so I'm going to split this into 3 sections. So it will be a milled coloured roving, it will be a layer of hand dyed roving, then another milled coloured roving, and then hand dyed roving. So I'm just going to split that in there as well. This port wine sort of colour, then this multicoloured version. Put that to one side because that's my add-on. This is my highlights with the bamboo fibres in there. And we've got that lovely bright orange just to give it another depth and to bring out the orange that's already in there. And this scarlet red, because that's how I roll. What have I got stuck in my foot? I'm walking around in the studio in bare feet today, and there's always something on the floor when you're working, and that always is. So I'm just going to pop you around a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to get my cranberry colour, and I want this, when the roving goes on, the hand dyed roving, I want the oranges and red bit section to sort of sit on top of this colour, just so it helps it all tying together. Though to be fair, purple and orange look fantastic together. And then I've got this next colour of purple. This is a corridor, so I'm working with corridor and merino. And then the darker version of that purple. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this one first before I put my hand dyed fibre on the multicoloured bamboo colours. I just think it'll look really fantastic. There's pops of different colours. There's turquoise in there, there's terracotta, there's salmon, there's orange, and it just gives it another pop of colour in there. Right, so next I'm going to go with my hand dyed roving, and I'm going to start over the side. I'm working with a 23 micron count hand-dyed merino today. Now you start to see the colours transitioning over. Oh, a little bit of grass on that. Here's the hints of the hot orange coming through. And then it fades off into a more golden orange. And already, what does that make you think of? Sunsets. Definitely, it gives you that Shepherd's Delight sort of feel about it. So I'm going to come in with my red, and I'm going to put this all over the top. Add that on there. I'm going to come in with this one here. Actually, no, I'm going to use this one first. So I'm just going to paint this on as well. Okay, my multicoloured merino with these hot pinks and raspberries over the top of that. There we go. You can see it, that sort of Northern Lights orange glow in the summer when it's really, really hot. And if you're out in the garden at 1 in the morning and the sky's like this dark navy blue, you can see the orange colours coming through. I've got some photos I'll have to put on my Instagram to show you what I mean. But it'll just look fantastic. So next we repeat what we did to start with. So back on with my dark purple. Then in with my mid-range purple. And I've gone for this more electric purple because I think it looks really great with this sort of transition from the purple into the red. So you've got that sort of scarlety, brick orangey sort of colour. Now in with this one here, because that really does help to tone down the rusty orange, the spicy, warm orange colours. Okay, so repeat what I did. So I want this mixed bamboo fibre. There we go. And I'm going to go in with my red again. And what we're going with next, yeah, this orange. And then I want my split fibre. Just going to go over the top with my multicoloured purple. I'm going to do this now. Now I'm going to go in with this one, the hand-dyed merino. And I'm going to get the carder and give it a pat in as well in a moment. It's really good, that. I quite like that, the way it's coming out. Okay, so from there we're on back onto the solid colours for the last layer of the milled stuff. But I'm going to take this one now and I'm going to put this along here. Okay, now I'm going to take my red, my scarlet red, and I'm just going to paint that over the top. Okay, and then I have got my last lot of colours here, the purple, dark purple version of the merino. The electric violet version of the merino. The port or burgundy version of the merino. Grab my mulberry silk Tweedy viscose blend. And then add on my multicoloured merino on top of that, and then that's that one done. While you're doing this and you're on you're talking about how you're not keen on oranges and reds and things like that, you've got to look at the bigger picture and the aspects. To be able to work with them, if you're not keen on them, doesn't mean that they're not usable. If you're like me and you have a side hustle, I say side hustle, this is my full-time job, but if you've got a side hustle where you're a fibre artist and you make things to sell, don't always go with your colour scheme. Think of what other people want. I mean, there's a lot of colours that I don't work with, personally myself, they're just not me at all. But that's not to say when I'm making them that I don't think they look absolutely stunning. And I think they would be great for somebody else. So if you're ever knitting projects for people, or you've got commissions, or you're weaving, if your safe colours are purples and blues and maybe a tiny hint of something else, then try and transition out of that, because it may help you get more customers. Think about what other people like. Go looking on Patreon, on Instagram and Facebook, and have a look, see what other colours people are working with. A lot don't like to think out their box, out their comfort zone. And a lot of people don't like blues and purples and turquoisey sort of colours. They like the pinks and the hot pinks and their purples. They like a hint of green in there, or citric colours. So sometimes it's really worthwhile working out your comfort zone and making something with somebody else in mind, and you might actually get that commission that you didn't think you would get. It's definitely always worthwhile thinking like that, because you sometimes restrict yourself to the type of customer base that your clientele base that you're going to attract. Okay, so it's the same when it comes to colours that you wouldn't work with or you wouldn't use because they're just not you, or you can't stand the colours of them. But it's not to say, I mean, I'm not one for hot colours. Oh, I've got fluff up my nose. I do apologise. My camera's the wrong way around. I'm not one for hot colours. Really can't be doing with them. I'm not really fond of them, but that's not to say I don't wear them, because I do have a dress that's chili pepper red. But that's not to say that I don't have them in my gardens. At my front garden, I have purple colours, blue flowers, purples, hints of pink. I do have one or two sort of grasses or oranges just to bring a bit of attraction. I have shrubs in there as well that change colour from deep reds into oranges and flame colours throughout the year. Out my back garden is mostly hot colours that I have out there mixed with creams. And though that's not my colour scheme, it looks fantastic in the right place. Well, it's exactly the same when you're working with fibres. Just because it's not always something you like doesn't mean that it won't go really, really well with something else to help tone it down. So that is the one we've just done. And look at it. I think that's really quite pretty. There's the back of it. You've got this colour gradient of this shepherd's delight in the evening, thanks to the hint of the orange and the reds that are in there, mixed with a bit of purple to calm that down. That's not to say that you could not work with that at all. Okay, so flip this out, and there we have one version of my Shepherd's Delight art bat. That's really, really pretty. And yes, I know there's still a few of you out there saying, yeah, I'm still not convinced. Well, if you were to spin that into singles, into a single yarn, and ply it with a really thin yarn in, say, like deep purples or a dark blue, you could help bring that down another transition to calm down those orangey aspects. But because you've got the Merlot colour on the oranges going into the reds, you've calmed those colours down already. So it shouldn't look as bad to your eye as it would to anybody else's. But as a rule, that's really, really pretty. Now we're going to make a really darker version of this one. Okay, so bear with me a second while I just get all the wheels out. Okay, so the second part of this version of my Shepherd's Delight, okay, I'm using a merino that's got this coral red and blue in there, and it's got some rainbow stellina in that as well. And I'm going to split this into three. I'm going to hand paint with this, or I may splay it out. We'll see. I have got some lilac bamboo. I've got a dark purple in here. Put that into three as well. I have got, what else have we got in here? I have got a very, very dark navy blue, which looks almost black, which I don't mind using black fibres when I'm blending it with vibrant colours, because you can see it when you're working with it. Okay, so next is this one here, and this is a really, really dark midnight blue. It's more or less nearly a black, but it's a blue face Leicester. So I'm working with merino, 23 micron count merino milled, and blue face Leicester, and bamboo, more merino with stellina, and hand dyed 23 micron count merino. I've got fluff up my nose, do bear with me. And I have got some fuchsia pink Angelina, because that's how I roll. Right, so again, I'm just going to split this into two sections. Actually, no, I think I might do it into three this time round. I'm going to split that down the middle, about the middle, into a sliver all the way down. Stick that one to one side, and then again, oh, second, what we got going on here? This one wants to do something else. I'm just going to yank it all the way back up and start from the orange where it's got the thickest end, and again split that. It also makes it easy to work with when you do this, because as you're pulling the fibres apart, it's sort of slightly drafting, so it opens up the fibres, so it just makes it a little bit easier to work with. And I'm going to plonk that over there, and then this one I'm going to start off with. Okay, oh, honestly, I fluff up my nose is really annoying. Oh. Right, so again, start with, on a minute, I need my brush on the back. Start with the orange. Work my way across. There's the red. And it starts transitioning to these pinky purple colours. There we go. Okay, so that's my first layer. Now I'm going to get this really dark blue face Leicester, and I'm going to open it up, and this is going to be quite dominant. It's going to take over nearly half, because I don't have, there we go, if we go slightly like that, I want the fibres to overlap each other, so as you transition through you don't notice the colour change, and it's very subtle. So that's the Blueface Leicester. This is the Merino. Do that one like that. Transition it over through the middle. And you're like, oh my lord, that's really black. Yeah, it is. But once you add in the other colours, it will calm down. And remember, when you go to work with it, the colours will start to break down as well. It will not be as dominant. Because black was one that was never mentioned in the Q&A, but oranges and reds were. So is that because you guys don't mind working with black? Or is that because you didn't even think of black as a colour that gives you problems? So I'm going to add in this one next, and I'm just going to paint that over the back. Got that stellina in there. I'm going to add in some of this fuchsia. I'm going to roll it across the bottom there and get my bamboo. And I'm going to put this on the back as well. And get my carder out. Sometimes you hit the back of that drum card and it just bounces all over the place. Right, next layer again. My hand-dyed fibre. Always making sure you remember which side you started the colour on first. Just pull it up a little bit here, you'll be able to see what colour you started on either side. I mean, in itself, it looks really, really pretty, and you can see where the colours are coming from. And yeah, maybe adding a lilac to that might be a little bit clashy, is probably the word. You could opt for a darker version of the purples, or go for a dark blue, or use silver even. You could even go with a turquoise if you wanted to, just to add in that drama if that's where you wanted. But that darker version of purple, perfect to add if you wanted to work with some bamboo, just to give it a different dimension. Okay, so back again to my Blueface Leicester in the really dark midnight blue. Then some merino. Again, it's almost black. Okay, and then we've got that dark purple, almost a aubergine. It just helps lift up that black straight away. Like that. You can just see subtly from where your perspective is the colour transition there. Then again, go in with my blue and coral red just to give it another dimension. Actually paint that on, Joe. Then some more Angelina. And again, splay it out on there. Grab my lilac bamboo. And again, last of all, the purple. Oh, I have no idea what's going on here. And to be fair, orange wise, it looks like there's a lot, but orange, remember, is a very bold colour, and there's not really a lot of orange that we're working with. It's mostly reds into purples, so you've got this hot colour palette. So yeah, it's not as loud and proud as it seems to come across, but as I say, maybe I'm just trying to justify working with it. Just trying to convince you it's a really good way to go. But I suppose if you've got it in your stash and you don't know what to do with it, this is what you can do. Just because you won't work with it on its own doesn't mean that it won't work elsewhere. I think is probably the way that I'm needing to get going on that one. Next is the purple. Go. Now, I'm giving it a card down, but I'm just going to leave that fibre that's on there first. And I'm going to go over the top with this one. Go over the top with this one. Just take half of that away. Grab this Angelina and put a load of it on there. The Angelina will help break down the boldness and darkness of those blacks and deep jeweled navy tones. Okay. And again, card it off. Start catching these other fibres off the front of my liquor. Okay, now it's time to take it off. Trust me. Oh, right, so unravel this. So what we have now is this really dark over coverings, but with that behind that midnight sky. Okay, and it looks really, really cool. It does look really good. So bear with me a second while I just feed this out a bit. Right, so I'm going to roll it from the purple end. Okay, and there we have, and you can just make out, on a second, there we go, the back of it. these warmer hot colours throughout. There you go, you see it peeking through there. There we go. One Aurora Borealis, or Shepherd's Delight, but a darker version, very dark version in comparison to complete opposites, just by changing the dimension, adding something really, really dark to it rather than keeping with the same colour tones. There you go. So that is part 2 of the colours I'd rather not blended. So these 2 batts will be on the website this weekend. On Sunday I've got next video to get filmed up, which will be working with browns. So bear with me. The other video will be getting sorted out and it will be available on Sunday morning to watch. All these batts will be on the website this weekend, the 7th of July. If you don't follow me over on Instagram, I'll just give you this notification now. Round about the 12th next week, I think it'll be next Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be putting up my Christmas advents. They're slightly a bit different this year. If you don't follow me over on my Instagram where I do my live chats, this is the colour theme for this year's Christmas advents, and they're slightly different this year. Last year I introduced a smaller version, which was 100 grams, and that's 4 Sundays of Christmas, 4 Sundays of Advent. So every Sunday you get 100 grams to open up on the way to Christmas Day. Okay, and in that you get as gift wrapped, and you get a couple of little extra gifts and things like that added in. And then the larger option, usually I do 25 grams over 24 days Christmas Advent with a 100 gram day for Christmas Day. But this year I'm just changing it around from my own work timetable, because I've done that version for the last 6 years. So I just want to do something a little bit different this year. So I'll be doing 12 days of Advent, and you get 50 grams per day and 100 grams for Christmas Day, and it works out as 700 grams in total, which is how much I do usually anyway for the 24 days of Advent. So you're not losing out any weight. It's just going to be the amount that I'm putting together and how I'm putting it together. So instead of 24 days, it'll be 12 days, and you'll get your Christmas Day art bat as well, and they'll be following this theme, and I'm calling it the hippie theme, or hippie retro 70s sort of colour theme, and that's the one I'm going with this year. So they will be available on the website. Now usually I open it so that if you can't pay all in one go, which I totally understand, for especially the larger one, because the larger one's 130 quid, but you do get quite a few gifts in there. It's all gift wrapped and it looks really, really lovely. And I do a printout with all the ingredients that go in with that as well. It's £130 for a UK. It's free postage, but you have to go into the descriptions to get the code, so you get your free postage. Otherwise, the website will charge you. If you're an overseas customer, you really need to contact me, otherwise you'll get full charge postage. It roughly works out, when I've posted my advents out over the years, it's roughly between 1.2 kilos, even though you've only got 700 kilos of wool. I say only, it's a lot. But once all the gift wrap's done and all the gifts are added in, and the bats have been wrapped up, the weight goes right up to about 1.2 kilos. So if you're overseas, drop me a message first, and then I can adjust the ratio or apply a discount to take off the amount that I'm not charging for the UK customers, because it is all sort of accounted in there for the postage. So I will be able to sort out some sort of deduction code, so you don't get charged the entire full amount. So like if your postage was going to work out as £25 for postage, then I would knock that down to £20 for postage. So it'll be like a £5 discount code that you'll get given to apply that to your order, and that'll help make the difference of how much it costs for UK postage. I think it cost me roughly about £5 to £6 to have it tracked to UK postage. So if that's the case, let me know. Just drop me a message. I always put that in the descriptions anyway. I do make an installment package as well for my Christmas advents for the larger ones. I do it every year just to help people out that want to have a Christmas advent as a treat but can't afford to pay it in one go. So how that works is an installment. So say you ordered next week and you want to pay an installment, you just reach out to me. The best way to catch me is over on my Instagram and DM me over there. I would charge you for a non-refundable deposit, which is roughly about £50–55, and then you have 2 further payments in the August, say for talk's sake, about 4 weeks later, or on a set date that we arrange between each other for the next payment to come in, and then the 3rd payment, and that's it, done and cleared by, say, September. But it also allows, if you can see something happening or you're going to be away on holiday in August, that second and 3rd payment will be delayed till September and October, thereabouts. Okay, so it can accommodate for that. But if you want that installment plan, you have to reach out to me and let me know, and then I will invoice you for your non-refundable deposit, because I buy all the stock in and everything else, you can imagine. But if you back out the last minute, I just can't justify all that amount of stock, and I can't guarantee that somebody else is going to take that at that order as a replacement if you back out for whatever reasons. But yeah, so if that's okay, that's how I work it. It's how I've done it for the last 6 years. This will be my 7th year doing Christmas Advents. So they will be on the website from next week. And I keep them going to either I sell the 10 that I list out, or if I don't sell the 10, I usually keep it going until about September, because that still gives enough time for any latecomers to pay the deposit and pay off the 2 installments if that's how they want to do it. So that's my news for this week. Anyway, I'm off. Yeah, that's me. I just want to give you guys that don't come onto my Instagram the heads up of what's going on in any news. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I'll be at Perth up in Scotland on the 7th of September. On Saturday the 8th of September at Perth at the Aero Showground as well, if you weren't aware. I will be putting that notification up on my website. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you can get up there, it'd be brilliant to see you. Yeah, that's definitely it this time. That's all the news that I've got for you guys, just in case you don't follow me over in social media. So for now, take care of yourselves, and I will catch you on Sunday with the last instalment, and it will be browns, which was one of the colours most voted for. And we'll do my Effie design, and we'll do something a little bit different. Anyway, take care for now. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and if you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do. See you later.